On this episode of the Third and Thirsty podcast, we debate who from the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders deserve to be on the All-2000s defense. We get into it now. Let's go. Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast, your one-pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee, and Taylor Swift free, AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell, Bronco fan, witness to 3 Super Bowls. To my left, I have Omar Rubio, witness to 0 Super Bowls. He's a Charger fan. And we got Edgar Larios to my right, Raider fan, witness to 0 Super Bowls. How's our weekend today?
Good.
This week.
Yeah, good.
It was good.
Had a little birthday party for my now 8-year-old Nico, which you guys were at. And I was hurting yesterday.
I was definitely hurting yesterday.
I was able to control myself, you hooligans. I was fine. I was at church at 8 o'clock in the morning. But it sure was fun.
Yep, we sure do know how to throw an 8-year-old birthday party.
Bounce houses and beers.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good time. So let's get into it this week. We're going to do the 2000s defense, just like we did the offense last week. We'll start with a little NFL news, big news today. Last week I said only NFL news that comes out around this time is bad news. Players getting in trouble, but I guess the other one is big trades, big moves. Jalen Ramsey going to the Steelers, Minkah Fitzpatrick coming back, and then also Jonnu Smith is going to the Steelers there as well. So big trade. Don't see the player flips very often in the NFL. This is one of them. What do you guys think?
I think it was big for the Steelers to get Jonnu Smith just because they don't really have much offensive firepower besides DK right now, DK Metcalf. And
Well, they have that other tight end. I can't pronounce his last name, though.
Fairmuth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
He's pretty good. Like, he's not.
He's a solid guy, but,
Yeah.
I mean, if he was going to have to take a lot more of the brunt work of the offense, then, guys are going to, or teams are going to key in on him a little more. But now, those 2 tight end sets come into play for them.
And they're different players, too. Jonnu Smith, you could almost even argue he's more of a wide receiver. So
Yep. He plays a lot in the slot.
mm-hmm.
So he's just like a big slot player, and
Yeah, he's definitely like a big receiver.
definitely.
Wonder, I haven't even thought about this until today, but I wonder how much influence Aaron Rodgers had on this. You guys think any? Or do you guys think that the Steelers realize that giving Aaron Rodgers GM duties is a terrible idea?
Oh, yeah, it's a terrible idea. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was okay with it, but I think that, like Omar was saying earlier, I think because they were taking so much from the Ramsey contract, they had to add another player.
Mm-hmm.
So they added that tight end.
And he's young. He's still young. I think he's still on his rookie deal. So
He's 29 years old,
Is-
Jonnu Smith.
29?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's pretty.
I don't know why I thought he was a lot younger than I thought he was like.
He's been
26.
around too. I think he was with the Titans at some point.
He's been around a couple different teams. Yeah, he's kind of bounced around a little bit. So now he's found a new home in Pittsburgh. But yeah, Jalen Ramsey going over there, that's interesting. We'll see how he does with an actual head coach and Mike Tomlin leaving McDaniel.
No, I think they have like
doesn't have any control over his team.
they have a pretty decent cornerback duo with Joey Porter Jr. He's pretty solid, and with Ramsey, I mean, he can hold his own still.
Yeah, I mean he's 30 now, I think. So he's getting towards that back end, but I mean he still had a decent year last year. He's definitely not worth what he's getting paid.
No.
But like Edgar said, he's also that type of player that you could see him switching over to safety and
Mhm.
still having a pretty good amount of years of good
Yeah.
production.
He might need to now that they just got rid of Fitzpatrick, so kind of makes sense. I mean, Justin Simmons is still out there too, so I mean, what if they brought him in? So who knows? Opinions on the Steelers might change soon if they could add someone like Justin Simmons. That really makes it a pretty solid defense.
I mean, there's still a couple other receivers out there. Amari Cooper's still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan Allen's still out there. He's a very quarterback-friendly receiver. Not saying he's going to put up huge numbers, but he runs really good routes, and he's in that slot role, so it's just catch it and go down at that point.
But it's almost like it doesn't matter what the Steelers do; they're always going to win just 9 or 10 games.
Yeah.
They could somehow bring in like I don't know, Terrell Davis, regenerate his knee and bring him back to like 99 form, and somehow they would find a way to only win 10 games. It literally doesn't matter. It's kind of one of those funny things about the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a little drama right now with the Steelers with Watt maybe
TJ
wanting
Watt.
a trade, or I mean, might just be some leverage for a new deal. But
Yeah, I don't see that happening, mostly just because it would cost so much for a team to have to bring him in. You're multiple first round picks for someone like Watt.
I mean, I did see like the Commanders willing to do it, but it's gonna be a lot.
I don't know. They got a really solid team, and adding Watt to the team is definitely going to help them out. But
yeah,
do you really want to mortgage a couple first round picks when you got a quarterback on a rookie deal and your window is now
and they also
4 years? It's not just this year.
And they're also having like drama with Terry McLaurin.
Mhm.
He wants another contract too, so I don't know. But
what I was going to bring up is that with Watt, if you trade him, it's not just first rounders. It's also you're going to have to give him a new contract,
Yeah.
which is he wants
Right.
top dollar.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a fit with the Commanders. Like I said, their Super Bowl window's opening, and they got 4 years of Daniels on a rookie contract. So I don't know if you want to mortgage a couple first round picks that you could use for talent in the next couple of drafts. No, I don't know. Argument can be made on both sides, I guess.
Yeah, and Watt's been getting injured last couple of years, so not saying hopefully he doesn't get injured. Never want to wish that on anybody, but
Right.
except for Edgar, he always wishes that on everybody.
We're gonna bring that up every episode.
every single time.
Yeah.
Man, anything else going on in the NFL that we need to get into? I did see PFF ranked head coaches in the NFL. You guys see that?
No, I didn't see
No, I didn't see that.
You guys want to guess who number 2 is behind Andy Reid? They got this one right.
Harbaugh?
Nope, Sean Payton. So PFF, with all their mistakes that they made over the last couple of weeks, they
All
got
the
that one right with head
mistakes?
coaches. Well, they had
Maybe this is
they
another
had
one.
Gardner over Surtain. It's insane. But they got this one right. Anything else?
No.
No? Well, let's get into it. We're going to do the same thing we did last week, but we're going to do it on the defensive side. Just looking back at all the different players from different teams, I think we're going to have some really interesting conversations on a couple different positions. We're going to do 2 corners, 2 safeties, 2 interior linemen, 2 edge rushers, and 2 middle linebackers. That sound right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, we're going to talk about the players and their production with the teams from the year 2000 on. So you might have a player like Steve Atwater. He played up until the year 2000. Wouldn't be a really good pick for the Broncos, even though he had a great career. He's a Hall of Famer. All of his work was done in the 90s. So he's off the table. Where should we start? What position do you guys want to get into first?
I mean, you can do trenches first. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I have like the best players for that, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah, let's get into the trenches.
Okay. So you guys want to start with interior linemen?
Yeah, let's go D tackles, nose tackles, whatever you want to call them nowadays. They're all.
And I was thinking too, we could include, like in a 3-4 scheme, a defensive end technically is still like in the interior. So more like down linemen. So
Yeah.
So I was thinking we could include technically a defensive end, but in a 3-4 scheme, they're more in the middle. So
Okay.
guys like from the Broncos, I could think of like Trevor Price, Derek Wolfe. Well, those guys were technically defensive ends, but in 3-4 schemes, they were in the middle.
Yeah.
They're still down linemen. So anyone want to make a case?
I'll go with my first one. I mean, if we're only choosing one, I'm gonna go with the big mauler, Jamal Williams. Was basically from the year 2000 to the year 2010, the mainstay in the middle of that Chargers defense. 2-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. That defense in those like middle years of the 2000s isn't what it was without him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do remember him. Edgar?
I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't really have that much to argue for a D tackle, especially. The one that I put down for a D tackle is Tommy Kelly, and he's played He played from '04 to 2012 for the Raiders, but he never was a Pro Bowler or all team pro. But he did end up coming out with like 34 and a half sacks.
Yeah.
He was a big contributor, but was never really. He was in the bad years with the Raiders, so he never really like stood out.
The bad years
Bad
from the
years with the
2000 to now.
Raiders.
Sorry, from 2002 to now.
I think you just say the bad years for the Raiders were from the last time they won a Super Bowl until now, which is a couple of blips on the radar that were good.
Or from 2003 and
Yeah.
now.
Those bad years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking. The Raiders didn't have much of an argument on the interior. I mean, you had guys that played a couple years, like Sapp.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
Seymour
Sapp, but he
that
really
had
didn't.
really good years.
His best years were with the Bucks for
Tampa
sure.
Bay.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna say a defensive end, since we're including him, I'm
Mhm.
gonna go Khalil Mack. Even though Khalil Mack was more of a linebacker and defensive end.
Yeah, I'm going to
I'd
say he's
go
more of an
defensive
edge guy.
end.
Let's save him for the edge.
Yeah.
Because he's a defensive, but he's going to be more on the outside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's save him for the edge because I think that's going to be a really good argument.
That's probably going to be one of the ones.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really fun one. The Broncos have had some really good interior linemen. The best one that we've had in the 2000s comes early, and that's Trevor Price. He was on the Super Bowl team and still played until 2005. First team All-Pro, I think, came in the 90s, so that's not going to count. He was really solid. And then you had like Malik Jackson. He was with the Super Bowl 50 team. And then Derek Wolfe as well. He was with Super Bowl 50 team. He never made an All-Pro or Pro Bowl, which I think you could argue that he should have because he was really, really good, especially 2015. So having said that, I think we're definitely going to go, excuse me, with Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
3 Pro Bowls, 2 second all-team pros. So he's definitely going to make it.
Let's lock him in.
Yeah,
to that first spot.
He's locked in.
Anybody else you guys think? I mean, for me,
I think it's Trevor Price, but
Yeah.
if you guys want to make another argument, go ahead.
I mean, I do also have Richard Seymour. I just noticed right now.
yeah,
3-time Pro Bowler and
good.
he was a second
Mhm.
All-Team All-Pro.
Yeah, I just mentioned him. Yeah, he's 29 to 2012. He had 2 Pro Bowls.
Yeah. So and then he only 3 years with the Raiders, but his biggest careers was with the Patriots.
Right.
So I mean,
But he still definitely produced with the
He
Raiders.
he did pretty good. I mean, pretty good. He did. He honestly led like a very young team.
During the bad years.
Yeah, during the bad years.
We just say that with the Raiders every time.
I just
During the bad
remembered a guy that the Chargers had. Wasn't the best. He was a solid player, but dope ass name. Igor Oshansky.
It's a pretty cool name.
But he was pretty good with the Chargers for about 4 years, from 2004 to 2008. Like I said, just a solid player, but I just wanted to bring up his name.
Yeah.
We're all about the dope names here on Third and Thirsty.
Yeah, that is definitely a recurring theme. Yeah, I'd like to add someone like Zach Allen, but he's really only had a really solid year with the Broncos last year. Make an all-pro team. Maybe in a couple of years we'll run this back and include him.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go Seymour and Williams. What do you guys think?
That sounds good.
Welcome in.
Okay. Where we go next?
Stay on the line. Go DNs.
And
Okay. Edge rusher, DNs.
I mean, me
The
and
first,
Edgar,
the
me-
first one's locked in. Are we going to
Khalil
debate that
Mack.
Von Miller doesn't need to be
Oh.
on this team?
Well, then at
Isn't
that
he-
point, both of him and Khalil Mack are already locked in.
But I was gonna say, isn't he more like wasn't he linebacker? I mean, I know.
Yeah,
they
that's
were
what we're
linebacker
saying. Yeah,
defensive.
any edge rusher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Von
so-
Miller and Khalil Mack for sure.
Because
Because I was gonna say, I mean, I had also Max Crosby, but Von Miller is over that.
Von Miller's number one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even a debate.
Khalil Mack is right up there with him. I
He's-
feel he had those couple of years that he left, but then it's been a while since
You know, even with the Bears, he had a good season.
Yeah, but even then, like, we're not counting those years. So
Oh,
then,
yeah.
like, you know, Von Miller had some years with the 1 year with LA, and then has been gone from the Broncos for a little bit. So
He still had 10 years
Yeah.
with the Broncos.
yeah, I'm not saying he's not he's not up there because we already agreed that he is. But I'm just
Okay.
saying, Khalil Mack's not far behind.
Yeah, like with us, he was a 3-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So you don't want to make the argument for Bosa over Mac?
No, just because Bosa's been just the name for the last like 5 years. Honestly, he hasn't had solid production in the last 5 years. Been hurt a lot. When he's out there, he's good, but he hasn't been out there. That'd be the next guy, him, or maybe like a guy like Donnie Edwards from the early 2000s. He was a really good edge. He kind of almost was like an edge interior guy, like we said earlier. I should have brought him up, but he was more edge. But even then, Bosa was better at his peak.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought you guys were gonna have more of a conversation with that, with Mac and Bosa. But I mean, Khalil Mack, you could also make the argument he played for both the Raiders and
Well, yeah, that's
and the
why
Chargers
that's
too,
why
so you can
I'm
include
including both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
DeMarcus Ware would have been. I mean, he obviously you think of him more of a Cowboy, but he still had 4 Pro Bowls with the Broncos and a first team All Pro. So, not too far behind. But yeah, Khalil Mack, especially with the longevity of the two teams.
I honestly would say it would be obviously Khalil Mack. I mean, Von Miller first, Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And then I would put DeMarcus Ware after them. And honestly, like, we can argue about this. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we only picking the first two. But I would put Max over Bosa.
Who?
Max.
Max Crosby.
Yeah.
I think I kind of would too.
Like Bosa's a great, but his injuries
It's right
are like,
I think at this point they're neck and neck, maybe with Crosby having the bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
especially because Bosa's
been
injury.
injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
they're like very similar.
if we do the same conversation a year from now, obviously it's going to be Crosby just because he's going to keep staying on the team, more production with the same team.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Bosa's gone. Where the hell did Bosa sign again?
Buffalo, and he's already hurt.
Buffalo.
And he's already hurt.
Dang.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting.
Sean Merriman was another guy too for the Chargers.
There's been some really good edge rushers here in the AFC West.
That's another player I fucking hated.
Yeah, he's solid. Because you hated the dance, didn't you?
The dance.
Don't do that again.
He's at the Lights Out Foundation. That's cool though. He's a good guy now.
Yeah. Broncos, a couple other guys. Obviously, they're not up there with Mac. But Dumerville, Shaq Barrett, both really
I
good.
remember Dumerville.
Yeah. And maybe we circle back in a couple years and
maybe Chubbs
talk
too.
about Benito. Yeah, Bradley Chubb was really good. And we have to thank him for helping us bring in Sean Payton.
If he would have been with the Chargers a little longer in the 2000s, Junior Seau, he only played in 2000 to 2002 with the Chargers and then went and finished off his career. So if he would have included like the first 5 years, like from 95 to now, then definitely Junior Seau probably would have been, I don't know, maybe number 2, maybe number 1. But he's more of a linebacker.
Yeah, I would definitely consider more of a linebacker. But
that's what I was considering, like Sean Merriman more
of a
linebacker too. Like, I mean, yeah, he could he can like rush the quarterback, but he always played that middle.
I think that's when they played in that 3-4 or 4-3. Sorry, no 3-4, 3 inside, 4 outside. Yeah. So then, he did do a little bit of both. He dropped back in coverage here and there too.
Versatile player. Yeah, Seau was awesome. I definitely remember watching him as a kid. Let's see here. You guys want to move on to a different position?
Yeah, let's go a little bit more skill. Let's go with the outsides.
You guys want to go corner?
Corner, yeah.
Corner?
Okay. Again, I think I have at least one lock, but you guys want to get started?
I did have.
I'll do Charles Woodson, his rookie year.
That's going to be a fun conversation. Charles Woodson.
Well, I have Charles Woodson on 2 positions, but I honestly would say his corner.
Yeah, when he was younger and he was playing corner for sure.
4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All Pro.
3 of the Pro Bowls came from the 2000s.
Yeah.
1 came from earlier.
And then Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Also came before, right? Or was that 2000?
No, that was just 2000.
Yeah, that was 2000.
So, yeah, I want to say that he's definitely up there.
He's in the conversation for sure. But I'm going to even try to knock him out from the second spot with my second guy. What are you thinking, Omar?
I'm thinking
I don't
it's
think
between. I'm not going to win this one,
No,
but
I
it's
think-
if I have to put a name out there, it's
Yeah.
going to probably be Quentin Jammer. Quentin
Mhm.
Jammer was there for seems like forever with the Chargers.
About 10 years.
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, actually, it was 10 years. I don't think he ever got any All Pros. Might have been a Pro Bowler.
Never got a Pro
maybe,
Bowl either.
Not even. He was just a solid all around player. I think because he was there for a long time, going back to longevity.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
Cromartie
else?
had 2 Pro Bowls with the chart.
I was about to say Cromartie,
Mhm.
but then he left after a little while,
Came back.
and yeah, but then Casey Hayward.
Yeah.
Casey Hayward was a solid player. He had
yeah,
like
he-
2 to 3 like really good years. I want to say he was like maybe a 2-time or a second team All Pro one year.
I don't see that. I do
You
see
know,
he had 2 Pro Bowls.
2 Pro Bowls. Okay, Pro Bowls.
yeah, when you play
Yeah,
with the
we haven't
Raiders,
had really great cornerback play in a while. We've had some guys that
Yeah.
a lot of upside, but never followed through.
Yeah. No, you guys are hurting on corners.
he
Yeah.
was pretty solid with the Raiders too. Casey Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So number 1, undeniable, Champ Bailey, right? Okay, good. I'm not getting any pushback on that. Yeah, 8 Pro Bowls. Excuse me, 3 first-team All Pros. Was the best corner in the league for 6-7 years, undoubtedly. Had that big pick against the Patriots in the playoffs. Almost a pick 6. But that tight end Ben, I don't know, Ben something, chased him down.
Then you get chased down by a tight end as a cornerback.
Yeah, he didn't see him out of the corner of his eye. He thought he was in the clear.
I know he got a lot of shit for that.
Yeah. Well, they still scored the touchdown
Yeah, but
because he
either
fumbled
way.
the ball, but it barely stayed in bounds before crossing over the pylon, which would have made it a safety.
Yeah.
Not a safety, a touchback.
Touchback.
Right?
Touchback,
Yeah. So, I think the tight end still argues that it was a touchback, sore loser. But yeah, Champ Bailey's number 1. But I think the real debate is going to come down to Charles Woodson and Aqib Talib. And I'm going to make my case. Omar, you're going to have to be the tiebreaker here. So he was a 4-time Pro Bowler with the Broncos. Woodson was 3. Right? So he's got a Pro Bowl over him. 1 first team or first All NFL. Also Charles Woodson as a corner, because he did get one as a safety as well.
That's what I was gonna bring up or ask. What were all these stats for Woodson only as a cornerback or both times?
Well, right now we're talking corner. We could
just corner.
He's going to go back and use him as a safety, which might be futile. But
No, I said I could, but honestly, his better stats were as a corner.
yeah, for sure.
So like I know like you guys have, or at least there's one safety.
And I mean, Woodson obviously was really good with the Raiders, but you can make the argument he was better with the Packers. His time with the Raiders, Charles Woodson had 11 picks. Aqib Talib also had 11 picks with the Broncos with 6 touchdowns. Charles Woodson 0. So you got six pick sixes against 0. So advantage of Aqib, right?
And don't forget defensive rookie of the year.
Don't forget cornerback 1 on Super Bowl 50. Also, most importantly, he has 2 Crabtree chains. So, I know Charles Woodson was great, but he didn't stick with the Raiders his whole career. Aqib Talib obviously bounced around, but
He bounced around.
his best years were with the Broncos. Undeniable.
I don't know. He was probably good. He was really good with the Patriots too.
He sure was. But when the Broncos brought him in, that's when they go and win the Super Bowl. His first team, first all NFL first team. I keep screwing that up. In 2016, the year after. But he was CB1 for that Super Bowl 50 year on the no-fly zone. So I think I've made my case. Judge?
This one's tough. Honestly, I hated both of them.
Yeah. keep Talib, especially if you're going against him.
I f-
Really, really
yeah,
unlikable.
I really hate it. I think I'm gonna go with Keith Talib just because he's more
Love
my
it.
generation of growing up, of watching football. Younger generation. Oh, when I was in my younger days. So I think I'm gonna go with Keith Talib.
Love it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's close though. That one was a hard one.
that was definitely a
I could go either way and
Yeah.
make an argument for either player, but
Yeah.
Well, fuck you guys. Then.
no, it was honestly by a fucking hair on my arm.
It's really close.
Yeah,
It's really, really close.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's see here. So corners, we're gonna go Bailey and Talib.
yeah.
You know, obviously, I want to make the argument for Surtain, but he's only 3 years in. So again,
I had
circle
another.
back.
I had another corner, but he was just like I said. He wasn't. He wasn't during the bad years. Now I'm the
You
awesome
can say that
one.
about anyone. Asamoah was good.
You know.
Yeah,
There was a year where like nobody wanted to throw his way at all. But 4-time All Pro and 3-time Pro Bowler.
Excuse me. Yeah,
But-
no, he was awesome.
But no,
Very
he
good.
wasn't. He didn't have the stats like a Talib or freaking Champ Bailey. But he was definitely up there.
Yeah, Champ Bailey.
I would have made more of a fight for that one to be your cornerback and then save Woodson for a
I
safety.
don't know. I mean, the thing is, with like even with the safety, like Charles Woodson was Pro Bowl, at least one Pro Bowl and All Pro second team, but it was only like 3 years, or I think it was only 3 years. I don't know why I put only 1 year. So like it wasn't. He was good with us when he was a safety, but I'm pretty sure you guys have some safeties that have been there longer and have better
Yeah, I got a
stats.
couple. Well, let's get into those.
Yeah,
Safeties.
let's do it before we get into safeties. Anyone that's still watching, really appreciate you doing that, making it to this far in the podcast. Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We're gonna keep doing this even though we're in the dry season, and we're waiting for the season to start. So again, appreciate you. Safeties. This one might be a pretty quick conversation. So I'll let Omar start because I think you might end it with a couple of picks.
Oh, well, I got one that's on the team already with Derwin James.
Yeah.
He speaks for himself, man. Like he's the number one guy right now on the team. He's a leader. He's put up the numbers. He had some like a down year or two, but it wasn't a bad year by everybody else's measures. It was a down year for him, but he got back up there this year. He actually became he's still listed as a safety,
Mm-hmm.
but he was actually an all-pro at slot corner this year. So just the versatility of that too shows. So I'll go with that one first, and then if you guys have more, then
Pretty
I'll
sure
circle back around.
Derwin James is a log. So
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say Derwin James is a lock. I'll just say two, or I have two players, which I don't think. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have better players, but I'm gonna say, and obviously the first one's Charles Woodson,
Mhm.
but my other player, he was playing with the Steelers. He had a big career with the Steelers, but towards the end, he played with the Raiders in 2002, 2003, and that's Rod Woodson.
yeah,
He had at least 10 interceptions and 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions returned. But he was an All Pro and a Pro Bowl. He was All Pro first team and an All Pro, and he's a Hall of Famer. But that year was like he had like the career with the most interceptions for a while until that shit got destroyed.
yeah. When you had both Rod and Charles Woodson on that same defense, no, it was pretty solid. But yeah, Derwin James definitely number one. Filling that second spot, I think it's still going to be a Charger. But I'll make a case for a couple of different Broncos. The Broncos have had a lot of really good safeties over the last 20 years, 25 years, whatever. First one that stands out is Justin Simmons. You can make the argument that at least 1 or 2 seasons he was the best in the game. 2 all NFL pro. God damn it. How do I keep screwing that up? Someone help me out. What is that called?
Just say 2-time Pro Bowler or All Pro.
All pro.
All Pro.
First team, all pro.
Yes.
Boom,
Yeah,
nailed it.
There you go.
Yep.
Good Lord. So he's got 2 of those. He led the NFL from 2016 to 23 in interceptions. So that was big. losing him really, really hurt. But then Broncos brought in Brandon Jones, and he did arguably just as well. So when he did that, it kind of eased the pain. Justice Simmons still a free agent. We talked about that. TJ Ward was a safety during the no-fly zone years. Dawkins had a couple years with the Broncos. He played well. John Lynch, same thing. And already brought up Steve Atwater, but he only had 1 year during the 2000s. So, the Broncos have had some really solid safety play, but I'm going to throw it back to Omar to make his case for the second.
I got Eric Weddle.
Yep.
Eric Weddle. He was a 2-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler when he was with the Chargers. Yeah. I mean, he had all the rest of his success outside of it as far as championships and in the playoffs and everything with Baltimore, and took 2 years off, or like a year and a half off, and then came back and won one with the Rams, which is random. But yeah, Eric Weddle, those years with the Chargers, he was probably one of the best, if not the best safety there was in the game at that point.
Yeah, I think as much as I want to give Simmons the nod, I think Weddle's going to take it. Edgar, any argument?
No, Weddle was definitely one of those players he was just a smart player. He just knew basically football. He knew the schemes. He knew everything. But yeah, definitely those are two good safeties that I can't argue about.
Yeah.
I'll throw in even another one. Honorable mention. Just is about to get inducted in the Chargers Hall of Fame. Rodney Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
he did most of his damage in the 2000s with the Patriots, but he had those years. I think first 2-3 years of the 2000s when he was with the Chargers. So, yeah, that was he did 9 years with the Chargers, and then left to go Patriots. So yeah, that's just honorable mention, just because he wasn't there fully in the 2000s.
Yeah, really solid safety play over there in LA or San Diego or wherever the hell they're going to play again.
Southern California.
Sure. Playing second fiddle to all the other teams around the area. Let's see. Well, we only got one position left, so we might need to fill some time after this. Get you guys to start thinking about our next segment for the next 15, 20 minutes. Players we liked because they sucked on the other teams.
Yes.
Don't really have anything in mind, but I might be able to come up with some.
Oh no.
Interior linebacker is our last position. Anybody have a strong argument they want to make for middle linebackers?
I don't have mine's. I mean, I'm just gonna bring him up because he was one of my favorite players when I became when I started getting really invested in football, and that's Kirk Morrison. He didn't make a Pro Bowl or anything like that, but he was a very solid player for us. Super smart. He had 7 interceptions, 6 forced fumbles, 5 sacks, and he just knew how to take charge. Basically, he was a great leader
During the bad years.
In 2006, we had one of the top defenses, but shoot, it was one of the worst years we ever had.
Yeah.
But he was one of my favorites. Another linebacker I'm just bringing up is Thomas Howard. Rest in peace. He was also one of my favorite players. 7 interceptions, 2 interception touchdowns, and 4 forced fumbles. But another player that no Pro Bowls or no All Pro, nothing. But 2 of my favorite players for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure y'all have.
Yeah, I definitely have one really good pick, but I'll let Omar take a stab at throwing one out.
We hadn't really had really great middle linebacker play. It's just been subpar, especially up until just this last year. It's really been like a sore spot in our defense. Everybody always thought it was the interior defensive line that was getting ran over. It was really the linebackers that just couldn't identify and couldn't stop the run. I'll probably have to go back a while. Like I said, Donnie Edwards, he was outside linebacker / D end, played some middle, and that's going back a while. I mean, if I had to really choose it, I know it's only 1 year of production, but last year, Deion Henley is probably my best shot just because of what I know he's gonna do. You know, just like what you said about Sertan, like it's only been 3 years. He doesn't have longevity, but he already has the numbers. It's just too soon. It's too soon. No, I'm not saying he's that.
Also,
that
don't
guy.
compare him to
No, I'm
Patrick
just saying
Surtain,
the
best defensive player in the entire world.
Yeah. But
So,
hey,
don't compare him even to Surtain.
yeah,
The
Deion Henley
entire
might
world.
Deion Henley might be the
that's what you
best
get when
linebacker this year.
Yeah, the entire world.
Yeah,
Defensive player of the year. So in the world.
except for according to PFF.
Yeah.
Instead of
Big
PFF.
dummies. Except for when they're talking about head coaches. Okay, well, the first, I guess the shoe-in is going to be Al Wilson. For you guys that just got into football in the mid-2000s, you might not remember him, but he crushed it with the Broncos. 5 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros. The best hit I've ever seen live watching a game came against the Raiders and Tyrone Wheatley. It was a 4th and inches early in the game in the snow. Tyrone Wheatley tried to jump over the line, and Al Wilson just fucking put him on his back, and really got the game started. Even though the Broncos ended up losing that game, it was really frustrating. But that was like a primetime game. I can't remember if it was Sunday or Monday night game.
I want to say it was Sunday night.
Man, I go back and watch that all the time. So anyone that's listening, look that up, especially if you're younger and you don't remember those years. But Al Wilson. Definitely. His career was cut short a little bit because of I think it was a neck injury. But he played his whole career with the Broncos, 99 to 2006. It's a shame that he didn't get to play longer. So he's a shoo-in, middle linebacker. I think we're going to have a little bit of a debate when it comes to second. A couple different guys I could throw out, even for the Broncos now. Alex Singleton is pretty solid. He's been there for a couple years now. But Broncos have had other guys like DJ Williams, Wesley Woodyard. Danny Trevathan was on the no-fly zone and a big part of it. So
I mean, the Chargers have had a good couple guys, but they've never had good careers with the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
They've always had like that 1 year right before they hit free agency, and then they leave.
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of teams don't really like invest into their linebacker room as much as they used to. I don't know.
When I was looking for the Raiders, like we had like a couple like veterans, but they were just there like also for like a year now or so. Like we had Navarro Bowman, and great player, but with the Raiders he was very just average, not really too much standing out.
Yeah.
But the last linebacker that actually made her Pro Bowl was Denzel Perriman.
I was gonna bring him up, but he played his rookie year, his rookie contract left. Bounced around, now came back.
Like the only reason we didn't re-sign him is because his coverage was always the thing that was killing him. But like you said, when it comes down to the run stop,
he's a thumper, dude.
Yeah.
He's a thumper.
Well, let me ask this: are we going to consider Junior Seau a middle linebacker?
Well, that's what I was telling him earlier.
Yeah, I was thinking about him more at the end, but yeah, he was a middle linebacker, honestly. But it was early on. He was there, till 2004,
2002. So his best years were in the 90s, but he still had 3 years in the 2000s.
Really good years.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying earlier, like Junior Seau.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be.
I mean, they were in the middle. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
At this point.
So it's really, I guess it comes down to Junior Seau's last couple of years, or someone like DJ Williams had some really good years.
But he wasn't even Junior Seau's last couple of years. It was just the last years with the Chargers,
right,
and then he left to the Patriots.
Yep, that's right.
So he was still a good player. That's why I always say, like, the Chargers, they never want to re-sign their linebackers. They think it's just cheaper to go out and draft another guy, but then it takes time to develop linebackers.
Yeah, let's go Seau.
All right,
I think that's fair. Include him on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of these 3 teams have really had really, really good linebacker play.
Again, you guys don't remember Al Wilson, but he was awesome.
I don't. I just remember that hit.
Dude, so tight. Tyrone Wheatley again. He's the Broncos running back coach now. But yeah, definitely one of the best hits. I remember watching that and thinking we're for sure gonna win this game, and then we didn't.
Traitor. Just kidding.
Okay, so that wraps up the defense. So we'll kind of run it down, just going off of memory. We'll start with the inside linebackers because that was the last one. We got Al Wilson, Junior Seau. Safeties, we had Derwin James
Eric
and Eric Weddle. Corners, all Broncos. We had Bailey and Talib. And then edge rushers, we had Khalil Mack, Von Miller. And then interior defensive linemen, who did we?
We went with Jamal Williams.
Yep.
And then
Did we go Trevor Price?
Seymour.
No, Richard Seymour.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
So we had 2 Raiders in there. 1.5. 1.5.
Pretty solid squad, man. Pretty solid squad. And then we had a lot of other really great players we got to talk about that maybe didn't quite make the cut.
Quick question though. Putting our defense up against our offense, who wins?
Yeah. So the offense, we had Peyton Manning, we had LaDainian Tomlinson, we had Demaryius Thomas, we had who was the other wide receiver?
Another Bronco.
Ross Smith.
Yep.
We had tight end, we had Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates.
And then
I
our
think
offensive.
defense.
You think so?
I honestly think defense.
I don't know, man.
We have some thumpers on fucking linebackers. We have some people that can coverage on corners, especially safeties. And then, like, if anything, like,
the defense can
If
get
any-
after the quarterback.
and if anything, like, maybe Antonio Gates is gonna have a balling out, but depending who covers him, if it's gonna be Derwin James or Eric Weddle,
Or even
because we only
Junior
went.
Seau, the
or Junior
linebacker,
Seau, yeah.
you know.
So I mean, I think defense is gonna take over.
It would be really tough. I mean, you got.
But Peyton Manning is
on,
Peyton Manning is pretty it's a smart quarterback, so they'll definitely have to
And
mess
then
with that.
LT's, I mean,
he's definitely a great one.
We got some thumpers as linebackers, but LT was very elusive. You know,
Yeah,
it
but
took
I
more
still
than
feel
one guy
like-
to knock him down.
I still feel like the linebackers with our defensive tackles and our ends will be able to. I'm not gonna say fully contain them, but
You also got to remember who we had offensive line. You know, we got good offensive tackles, good interior.
was it Slater?
Yep. Slater at the left tackle.
Quinn Miners was.
Mhm.
but that was it. We never went the
No,
opposite.
we had center. We had
We
had the
interior.
full line. I just don't remember who.
We
was
didn't have
on
the
it.
full line.
We
only
went
did-
interior.
we
I
did.
don't think we did.
We didn't do
We did
two.
center. Yeah, we did do center.
We didn't. Yeah, we did Ronnie Hudson. That was the only Raider.
Yeah.
But who's gonna be on the other side? We never picked that.
No, we had we did like the second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honorable
I
mention
don't
was
remember who
the
it was.
second one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Just don't remember who it
But
was.
yeah, but no, I think now that you break it down, I think defense does put up a really good fight.
It would definitely be a battle.
Yeah,
you have
most
two
definitely.
corners on two really great wide receivers, so it would be tough. It would be really fun to see Champ Bailey try to take on Demaryius Thomas.
And
But,
even if you go in Charger versus Charger, Junior Seau trying, or like he said, Derwin James trying to cover Antonio Gates.
yeah, we'll have to hook up Madden, put those teams together, do a little simulation, and do commentary for a
That's exactly
bonus
what I was
episode.
thinking. I should-
be on the lookout for the Third and Thirsty Twitch channel.
Now we can upload that on YouTube. One of us has to buy Madden though, so.
I know.
I'll buy it because I want to get it. It's been a minute since I was playing Madden.
Yeah, so we'll have to lock that in. Let's see here. We're about 15 minutes left. So, players that we like from other teams because they sucked.
Oh
So
no,
we hated to see them go because we were like, damn, he was really good for our team, but on their team.
I'll start Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, just both of those guys.
You know,
the
kind
two-
of still with the Raiders.
Well,
Gardner Minshew.
I'm glad he's not, or I'm bummed he's not the starter anymore, and he definitely won't be.
Oh no,
Yeah.
He's one in what? He didn't get to play you guys, so he's just 1-0 still versus. The
I just knew
Broncos.
that whoever the Raiders were going to start at quarterback last year, it was going to be a disaster. It was nice knowing that it was going to suck.
I at least would have like let fucking AOC play versus y'all, or at least finish the season. But the fact that they let Minshew finish, I was like, well, see how this fucking ends.
It didn't end well. Anyone else come to mind?
I'm gonna go. I think we're gonna start naming players from our
The
like
Raiders?
the worst. Well, that and the worst.
Oh, from the tank draft?
Yep. Because I was gonna go with Paxton Lynch,
Yeah. He didn't last very long in Denver, though.
but still,
so-
I hated to see him leave when he
For
did.
me, it was Russell Wilson.
Yeah. He's definitely on that list for sure. He sucked with the Broncos. I was definitely glad to see him leave.
Let me go back the 4 years that I was making money off of Alex.
He's
quite a
he's
few.
got the little think bubble going on.
Was that running back that was that with the Chargers and with
Both.
the fucking and the Broncos? What was that his name?
Melvin Ingram.
Melvin
Oh,
Ingram.
Ingram. Yeah.
Yep.
You
So
knew
you probably loved him.
You
Yeah,
knew he
that's
was
what I'm
gonna
saying. Him
come
for
up
sure.
with a huge fumble at a very crucial part of the game.
Like at the 1 yard line.
Yep.
No, I just remember the Broncos needed that first down, and all of a sudden you just see his knee. I don't know if it was his knee, the one that popped out the ball, and our safety picks it up and just runs it back, and I was just like, "Let's go!"
Yeah, no, I remember that.
And to think he's technically a Super Bowl champ with the Chiefs.
That's
Jeez.
right. Yep.
I remember they interviewed like I didn't do anything.
He was drunk. He was drunk as hell. I hated you on my team, but after that interview, what's up, Melvin Ingram? Or Melvin Gordon. Sorry, not Melvin Ingram.
Yeah,
Melvin
why were we
Gordon.
thinking Ingram?
Ingram? Because we had two
Yeah.
Melvins on the same
Melvin
team
Gordon.
at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Melvin Gordon. Sorry for messing up your name, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, if you're listening, you suck. God, I didn't come prepared for this, so I don't have anything off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of
I'm
different.
just thinking of people off the top of my head. Right
Mm-hmm.
For
I guess go all the way back to like Ryan Leaf. He definitely sucked.
he did suck. What about for your team, who you were glad to see leave?
Glad to see leave.
Yes.
Jerry Judy.
Minshew.
You guys are quick on that one.
Glad to see Jerry Judy leave.
He was happy to play the Broncos.
Yeah, well, he's now in Cleveland, where he'll just continue to be on a shitty team for the rest of his career, and get to watch the Broncos get better and better every season. So good riddance, Jerry Judy, bitch ass, if you're listening. Anybody else you guys were glad to see leave?
You hate him so much.
Ah, that fool sucks.
No, I'm
All
glad.
his
I'm
subtweets
glad
that
that
he put on
Minshew
Twitter.
left. But if it came down to one of, you know how we did that, who would you have a beer with? I would have a beer with Minshew. I'll talk shit to him while he was having the beer.
Minshew would be tight.
But yeah, I'm glad he left.
Yeah, Minshew seems like a cool guy to hang with at least.
Trying to think who else.
Paxton Lynch. Definitely glad to see him leave.
Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, there's a long list of
Brock
quarterbacks.
Osweiler. Yeah, for the I could just keep going on quarterbacks with both of your guys' team, but I
Long
was
list of
I was
quarterbacks.
just
Russell
trying to
Wilson.
avoid just
Yeah,
only quarterbacks.
Russell Wilson definitely. No more high knees on the plane. No more Mr. Unlimited. No more just being the joke of the NFL for a couple years while he was there.
Even Derek Carr with the Chargers, I was sad to see him leave just because I don't know. I felt like our pass rush just had his number. I don't know if they just heard footsteps after getting hit once, and
Say
Derek
so.
Carr, yeah, Derek Carr. I don't know. I like
He had
Derek
a-
Carr.
he
I
had a
thought he was
pretty
pretty
good-
solid.
He had like, I was trying to figure out like players when we played you guys in that like last game of the season when we kicked you out when we won and we went to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
players that I was glad to see leave from the Chargers are like every kicker from like 2000 on until like this last kicker that we have
Mhm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches that I was happy to see leave was Brandon Staley.
Yeah, Broncos also have a very long list of coaches that we're happy to see leave.
Big dickhead.
Yeah,
McDaniel. I was sad to see McDaniel leave.
yeah, I
I
was
was sad
definitely
to
sad to see
see
him leave for the Raiders.
AP leave last year.
Yeah, I
I
was
was
really
sad
hoping
about
they
that
would
one,
still
too.
keep him. I was
sad
really,
about that.
really hoping they still keep him. I can't believe you still think he was a decent head coach. God, he was trash. Really unfortunate that you're not running the Raiders.
that sucked for your team? I can't think of anybody else. Oh, he just was on the Raiders. He was with the Chargers. What's his name? He was the that D tackle that hit Justin Herbert out of bounds. What was his name?
Dude, that fool was hilarious.
God, I can't remember. And he was a first round pick for the Chargers, and they cut him before his fourth year of his rookie deal.
It's not very good.
Yeah,
I remember he sacked him, and then the very next play, he fucking gets a penalty because he fucking cracks his fool
after he stepped out of bounds.
after the fucking play.
No, I really can't think of any other players I was really happy to see leave. I was kind of happy to see Javonte Williams leave, mostly just because I hope he gets a better opportunity over in Dallas because I like him as personally. I think he's
Dude, they have way too many running backs.
Right.
Good luck for that fool.
I hope it works out for him. But his last couple years with the Broncos was really bad. Anyone else?
Damn, I can't really think of any.
Jerry Tillery, that's his name.
Oh yeah, it was Tillery.
Tillery.
And he's just needed enough time.
Yep. Now he's on the Chiefs. F you, Jerry Tillery.
Oh, he's gonna beat the shit out of Herbert.
Good luck. Good luck getting past Mekhi Becton.
He doesn't care about he still hit that fool after the whistle.
Did you see though? He hit him on the Chargers sideline, and the whole Chargers team just ganged up on him, started pushing him around until the refs had to get in there.
That fool still got up and was laughing his ass off.
Yeah, so was Herbert. Herbert was like, "I'm good, I'm fine," and apparently him and Herbert were really good friends while on the team together.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure they are.
yeah, once
Football
you hit
field's different.
once you hit the field, that shit changes though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shit was. I hated it just because it fucked us over with that penalty. But
And it wasn't
damn.
even just that one. He just wasn't a smart player.
He'll do a good play, but the very next play he'll fuck it up. I'm like, dude,
With a penalty,
yeah.
and just set you guys back even further. Yeah, that's
Better-
Jerry Tillery for you.
Better keep him on the sidelines when you're playing the Chiefs. Because the refs are definitely throwing that flag.
Yeah,
Well-
I think that does it for that segment.
Well, let's just wrap it up, man.
right.
We'll be a few minutes early today, but that's okay.
All right, what about players you do like?
Players I like.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
Bo
Raiders.
Nix. I like him a lot.
No,
Or
from
that
the other team.
left. Or that left, I mean. Players that you like. Well, you already said Javonte Williams, so.
Yeah, Justice Simmons. I mean, the list goes on.
Oh, yeah,
man.
for me, Antonio Cromartie when he left.
Like
guys
Keenan Allen or
Junior,
something?
Yeah, Junior Seau, Keenan Allen. I mean, it was at the end of his career. Yeah, I was sad to see him leave, but still,
Tim
it's a
Patrick.
little older. But
I definitely try not to get connected to players anymore because at some point they're going to bounce. So whether they like or whether they're the ones that are in control of it or not, So yeah,
What about Eckler?
he had run his time with the Chargers. I mean, I was sad to see him leave, but the last year he was with them, you could tell he was past his prime, and he wanted starter money, and he just wasn't a starter anymore. So he could have gotten starter money the year before when they offered it to him, and he said no, he'll just play it out and play for a bigger contract. And yeah, no, man.
Okay. Well, that about do it.
Yep.
I think so.
I think so. All right. Well, next week we'll be back. No idea what we're going to talk about, but we'll find a couple of things to fill an hour. Still a couple of weeks left until we get into training camp. So if you're watching, really appreciate you watching, especially up until this point. Like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Tell a friend about us. Follow us on Instagram, all that cool things. If you have any ideas of things to talk about, let us know. I think that covers it for this week. What do you think?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, 222 days until Bo Nix was his first Super Bowl. Cheers.
All right. I'll take that.